Hello! I thought I'd try narrating this video, highlighting the most recent improvements to my main project, RF87. The game is a building and exploring simulator where you control 3 crash survivors on an alien world. The artwork is all very preliminary, so it doesn't look particularly alien at this point, and the top-down perspective is also something that I'm kind of trying out. One of the first improvements is the GUI layout and functionality. You'll see there's a space for a portrait for each character. The portrait is just a placeholder at this point, and there's been some additional functionality added to the display. There's different display modes, so there's inventory mode, there's a mode that shows bar graphs of some of the typical parameters, health, happiness, hunger, some of the other parameters that you would typically see, and finally bonuses for specific activities. I also kept in a mode for debugging information, which of course won't show in the final version. An additional improvement to the GUI is the formatting of pop-up text. So if you want additional information on something that is on screen, it's now formatted so that it will match the rest. You can also get additional details on any of the items in-game. I've improved inventory a bit. There's now a container functionality so that some structures act as a container. So kind of your typical treasure chest, in this case a storage crate, which can hold a certain number of items. Things can be transferred back and forth from storage crate or any container into the colonist's personal inventory and vice versa. One additional thing to point out is that the bonuses are all being calculated specific to the types of tools and bonuses that a character might have. So here we see Corky with construction tools has a build bonus of 140. If we drop the tools, you'll see his bonus drops to 100. Next, let's have him pick up his tools again. So the next thing I want to highlight, this is a real-time sim, so keeping track of time is pretty important. So I've introduced the clock functionality together with the weather. You can accelerate time, so in this case I have it sped up to double speed, but you can also go as high as 5 times speed. To highlight the next feature related to time, let's build a campfire, and this will help us see how the day-night cycle is set up. It builds on the functionality that I learned from the Witch of Darkmoor Forest, has a nice transition from day to night, and even includes some color shifting. So we should see that shortly. Good, and it is getting to be dusk. So there's some color shifting, so around dusk the overall colors shift to more of a reddish hue, and then as it starts getting to be nighttime, it goes to more of a blue tone. Aside from the visual effects, it also affects temperature. So here we see temperature is dropping because it's nighttime. And lastly, it will affect spotting mechanics. So creatures will be more difficult to see at night. There is also a portable light source, like the torch being shown here. Works pretty much as you'd expect, following the player around. Now let's skip ahead to dawn to highlight the final improvement, which is the building size. Now that it's daylight again, let's put up a larger structure. The campfire, shown here, and also the hut, are both small structures, so they take up exactly 1 quad of space, and you can only place them in a space that's empty. We also have a new structure, which is the campsite, which takes up 4 quads of space. And you can only put it if all 4 quads are empty, and it is rotatable just like the others. Labor to do the construction works exactly the same. Let's set Jake to do the construction this time. You'll note that since he does not have the appropriate tools, it's going to take him longer to finish things up. But shortly we should have our campsite, and I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.